Okay, we're going to do this again. This time correctly. He's over there playing. Are you having fun playing with your toys over there?
Yeah.
Good. Good deal. Now you broke the setup we had over here.
I know.
Jeez.
It was perfect.
It was precision done.
It was.
Jeez. Okay, we already got a mark on the one, so we're going to mark that same one again. Basically, this one's too thick, so we need a thinner one. We're going to get a thinner one. I don't know why you grabbed such a big one. There's no reason to be like that. Just thin is good. Big is not always better, see? Okay, now, that's going to screw up everything else. So. Alright, back on our hole again. That side. There's flush. Now we're flush. Now we got to determine how far we want to go below the surface. We can stop there, and the hole lines up. So go on the other side. The hole line up pretty good. Should be lined up right now. How much of the hole's lined up?
Looks pretty good.
If we drop to 30 thou, we're gonna kill the hole too much, or we got a full hole right now? Probably got a full hole right now.
We're almost a little low.
What's low?
Pretty much a full hole.
The brass bush is low still already.
The hole.
So if I drop a little more, we're going to change the height. So.
Correct.
So we can either leave it flush and we have to modify everything else to fit, or we drop this down. Now I can machine the bushing too, so I have options. Does the hole look like it's pretty centered up in?
But we don't want to be pulling the bushing back out, do we? Do any more damage, potentially.
Yeah, see, we're already a little bit lower in the bushing already.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But see, I can't, whatever I counterbore down, I'm going to lose my area there, so it's kind of a defeating their purpose. We can go down a little bit, but not too far. So, it's really a toss-up on what to do on that because it's such a bad design. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's go look at our shaft and our nut and see what we got to play with. What'd you get? You went all the way around?
Yeah, I think it might have gone too far that way.
Yeah, just a little bit. Playing with offsets here. So you look on the edge of tire, and you look at how much hub you got left.
There's a little bit more on
A
the
little
left.
bit more. Yeah, it was the other way before.
So tighten some of them back up.
Yep. So whatever the loosest ones are over here, tighten. Start at your valve stem, way up here. Okay, next thing you gotta do, hold, spin the wheel. Go ahead and spin it. Let me just turn the damn thing. Okay, which way we're gonna go? This way. Okay. So. Okay, there's 0. So now we know how much you're gonna go over. Because there'll be a gap here in the high saw when you get to it. Here's your valve stem right here. Okay, so tighten up these ones here. Not the ones that pull that way. It'll be this one here, this one here. So tighten these a little bit. You're feeling for the loose ones are the ones you want to move. So if they feel tight, don't move them. Don't go full. You went full before. That was too much, remember?
So go like half.
How many of these did you not go all full all the way around?
How many did I not go full?
Mm-hmm.
I went full on all of
So they were all equally torqued?
them. Roughly. Yes.
Roughly, you don't remember? Okay, go ahead and just tighten them all up one full one, and we'll come back and tighten these up here, what we need to do, because there were some tight ones loose on this side.
Okay.
But at least now you got an idea what you need, because you'll see it right there. Okay. So, when all this is on here, you have to figure out how much clearance you got. So that goes on there, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Let me get my tool. Then we're going to have to make up 100 thou. So, if we had 100 thou here, see what happens? You can't tighten your nut.
Mm-hmm.
You only got an 1/8 inch showing. That's why there's an 1/8 inch recession in the bushing. So what I got to do is I got to cut this down. If we do that, we lose our timing marks. So we have to cut those deeper. So I can shorten this gear up, and then shorten the nut up, and everything will pull away. But you see, this is going to bottom out the thread. See that thread right there? That's going to already be hitting on the bushing. It's right on the edge right now. So these are all the problems we're going to run into when you start modifying stuff. Same thing happens in 93 when you're mixing and matching stuff from 93 parts. The shafts become too long, parts don't fit. Just start modifying things. So it's a vicious circle. Everything you do affects something else, and then you got to do 3 things to make that work. So we really need to go down about another 30 thou over there. Otherwise, we're going to do a lot of cutting. We need to get this nut below the surface. If we can't do it on the bushing, we're going to have to do it on this. And that means every gear that you do, you'll have to do the same thing.
Is it not easy just to slot that out, the bushing, at that point?
Well, I can cut the grooves deeper, yeah. That's not hard to do. You do that with a disc cutter. And then you put this in a lathe and you grind it on, and you cut it down. It
Sorry, I meant the
tears up carbide bits, but you can do it.
I meant the bushing in the cam cover.
We can't because the oil hole's right up on the top surface.
So you have too thin of a wall essentially at the top.
Right, the oil will piss out the top. You have no oil pressure to the crank. That's already a problem already. It's going to get worse. And like I said, I can't get too much shorter here because there's no, you get too high, you got nothing to tighten with, see? It just rounds off on you. We can lose a little bit. We can probably get 30 here and 30 over there. That's a 16th. Hopefully we had 30 thou to begin with. Now we got 30 more somewhere else we got to come up with. But we don't know if we have that or not until we put the motor together, and then we find out it hits. So basically make it clear without a gasket, and the gasket will be your clearance.
Right.
That's all you can do. So we don't have room to not fudge the bushing. We need to fudge the bushing deeper. These have clearances. I'm trying not to cut the gear, that way you can change out gears down the road and not be a problem. Put my fingers in there. The other problem is I'm not pushing square on this bushing, so I don't know if it's going to go down equally. That's a whole nother problem. Not lined up where it belongs, so it doesn't want to go down. That's a lot of pressure. So they're not concentric on the edge, so I gotta be not concentric on the edge too. See, we lucked out the first time we did it, pushed it right
Yeah.
in. Most of the time you're not that lucky. It's not there. Give me a flashlight. How's it looking for you?
I think it's closer now.
Closer. Not even close. You're off by that much. You hear it? So take that away and make it so it doesn't move very much. Damn, it's not going. So hard to see.
I think you got a little in.
Okay, it's going. There, I'm on it. Alright, so how much more can we push it? Ah, it's tight. Okay, we're about 30 thou down now. I think that's about all I want to push it.
Oh, we got for oil.
No, you get about half a hole, a little over half a hole.
You want to do a touch more?
I can probably go down slightly more. Just problem is it doesn't want to go down anymore because we're pushing it so damn hard. We can't vouch for how even it is either. That's the other problem. See, normally you have a stop, it goes down to
Right, exactly.
bottoms
Flans
out.
out.
Not exactly on a precision tooling around here. Oh, fuck. Man. Broke the Loctite free that time. We're not going anymore.
No. You dropped it.
Yeah, it definitely dropped. It moved. Which is good, it probably centered it. But we're going to measure that, see how deep it is. I was going to use my other tool. You want to get precision on me. 43. We had about 80. We got about 35 still covering right here. So what I want to do is I want to take my capillary Loctite. Put it right there. And hopefully it does not disappear. That's a good sign. That means there's not a hole right there, because it would just right through it if it was.
Right.
So we'll let that soak in there a little bit too. Oop. If there's any extra gap in there, it'll seal it.
What about this gap? Can you worry about where that pin was? Or?
We're going to drill that out here in a minute for the
Okay.
pin. I'm trying to get the Loctite to work
Go all the way around.
Yeah, it's got a capillary action around. There we go. Alright. Well, being at 43 is going to help us a lot because that leaves us 80.
Mm-hmm.
And about 76 thou difference. So hopefully we don't have to trim more than about 30 off of here to make it clear, which I can live with about 30 without.
Right, we still have a good mate to get on there.
I still got enough to torque it in without losing it. But that's about it. But I'm going to probably have to chamfer this hole right here a little bit, the edge, because the thread's going to get tight.
Right.
So, I don't know why V-Twin made their stuff so crappy, but oh well. So I switch car all the time on the other later car. Harley covers, I change bushings all the time, it's no problem.
Right.
They all line up. V-Twin obviously decided to put their holes in a different location.
It's disappointing.
Yeah, so about a 1/4 inch different. It's either 200 up, not even there below that. They're 3/16 off the center. And on the cam bushing, it's 300 thou. Is where the late cam bushing is going at, the hole. So they're way high. No reason to be high like that. The closer to the surface, you got less sealing here.
Right.
In case there's a leak. Now this one here, they did the hole totally different. They got it way down there at the bottom down there. See that thing? That's not even near what Harley does. Harley doesn't do anywhere near that. You go 300 down the center. So V-Twin is just being V-Twin. They do what they want. Okay, let's set that up. We gotta go and do a dowel. We'll be back.
He's best friends with me now.
He likes you
that
now?
treat, yeah.
You fed him? You gave him a couple treats, he's happy?
Exactly.
Said get on Scooby's good side?
Yeah.
Feed him? No, I ain't giving it anything. Okay, so we're going to use, what are we using? We're using the right drill. We're going to use 120 thou drill. That should give us 5 thou press, assume the drill's on the side. Okay, so that was the hole they put in. So I think I'm going to go right in there. So we're going to go at an angle a little bit. We're going to try to get actually a drill in there, unlike what they did. Stand it up, see? See, now we're about half and half now. So let's see if it's actually going to drill half and half. Now I think it will. Yeah, should go in there now. Okay, so we're done with that. I'm gonna go over here and do it correctly. Okay, we need a 1/4 inch depth, but we already went a little bit. We'll do 230 depth, how's that? No, actually we're about 0. Quarter inch. Try to get something halfway level. Is that halfway level?
About halfway.
Okay, so about right there. Oop, not there, dumbass. Okay, we do our depth stop up here. Just 1/4 inch, which is how tall the dowels are. Just trying to measure with a scale like I used to. I get smart. I use a drill bit.
Exactly. Get practical.
Okay, that's too slow of a speed. Crank the pig up a little bit. That was not going to be good. See, I went through both pieces unlike them. Okay, so should be a taper on one of these two sides, but these ones don't have much. See, it's pretty much straight. Not very good for starting purposes. Gotta be quick. If you get a chance to fall over, it'll fall. Okay, so we use the big one first. Transfer over to your small one, it'll go down further. Bend the damn thing. Why do you get one so small?
You said one smaller than it, one bigger.
Yeah, well that's a lot smaller.
There was, like, the options were, there's one same size.
There's one bent already?
No, same size.
Oh, because this one's gonna, it's already bending from me hitting on it.
You want to get the same size?
Yeah, let's switch over to this one. Dang, what thing do with it? Okay, so see how it's below the surface?
Mm-hmm.
So now you come in with a bigger punch.
Punch the surface.
You knock it over the edge, so now it can't come out. It's in there. Knocks any burrs off. Okay, now that pin's not going to fall out, and the bushing ain't going to fall out, unlike what they had before. And it looks like we still got probably almost 3/4 of a hole showing, which is plenty of flow. So I think we're pretty good on that. But we are going to have some height issues.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so those are all in there. So now we got to do our line rating. So let me get this cleaned up, we'll be back.
I put these